and castles in this game. Because we've got Margougou versus Vinchester on Socotra for game 1 of all maps. It's going to be Socotra. So welcome in. I was thinking about doing some Red Bull casting beforehand and then going back into this, but I figured that would be, I feel like that's like not fair to the people that would be here to watch Red Bull and not this tournament. So I don't want to trick people into watching the Kingsnipe Cup. If they want to watch it, then they can watch it. You guys are here. That's good enough for me. Vinchester instantly going for the boar lure, like not even waiting a second, and also pushing deer in with both the king. I almost said monk. I'm just like looking at it, and it just so doesn't look like any of the other kings, but also looks absolutely glorious. He's like staring at it. You better move. You better move. All right. Yeah, get along there. Also, I've never seen a human that's 2.5 times the size of an ostrich before. That's terrifying. Also, the fact that he's like tall and also jacked makes the... So I have Big King's mod on, which makes the king's appearance larger for us watching. It doesn't change the size of the hitbox. And if the players don't have the mod, then they see the regular sized king as well. A lot of the higher elo players, they won't have studied the settings of the tournament extensively. I don't think. They won't be aware of things like the Big King mod and how useful it can be. Big King mod, honestly, is about as important. If you're a pro player, you should have Big King's mod on, honestly. There's no tournament where not having the king or having the king be large is going to inconvenience you. You're always going to want the king to be big, I think, and easier to spot. The number of times I've seen even high-level players mistake the king for a villager or a military unit is unreal. Anyways, Vinch, we're on Socotra. Vinch is down here in the south, and he's playing very passively. He went and took a peek at Margougou's base, and that was it. No sign of laming. Although we do have a villager coming to build a forwards house. Might just be to build a wall. Vinch has a really wallable base on this side, I think. I think this is pretty wallable. Well, that's pretty far away, actually. Might be more like this. Plus, you don't really gain anything. I guess you wall in the relic. Walling in relics is Aztecs. Yeah, I don't know. He could wall in 2 relics. And that is Aztecs have a 33% extra gold gathering from relics, so that'd be pretty huge. He did pick up Loom, though. No, wait, he didn't. He has 4 seconds of idle time. That's what caught me off guard. That's why he had Margougou, on the other hand, in the north, playing as the Lithuanians. Lithuanians start with extra food. Can make doing a early scout rush really easy. There's also a few unique builds you can do with Lithuanians you can't do with other civs. Oh yeah, because he's got that relic too. He could wall 3 relics in. Yeah, I think it wouldn't be the worst, but that's really far on this side to go and try and wall. And even here, yeah, you see he's not even going to bother. He'll just go get it after. He'll get it in Castle Age if it gets to that point. You gotta, on Socotra, you gotta worry about getting to that point first. I kind of want to be on screen for right now. I can't explain why, but I feel like I should be on screen talking with you guys. Hi, YouTube. This is probably going to be on YouTube, so. If you're watching this, you're also probably going to be watching the full-length thing that I put on YouTube. So, extra thank you. Yeah, only the most dedicated people who watch the full-length stuff on YouTube. There is a dedicated, like, 80 to 100 people-ish that were watching all of the Ring of Fire videos. I don't know if that ever worked out. But there was, like, a good chunk. Every time I put it up, I get at least, like, a couple dozen views. So there's some people that are, like, watching, following along. I also found out there's at least one other streamer covering the tournament. I saw a live stream on YouTube in Spanish of Kingsnipe Cup. I couldn't first, but the thing is, I was on my YouTube app on my television, and I could not get the person's channel to pull up, and I don't speak Spanish, so I don't I can say some Spanish phrases, but I don't remember enough. I couldn't get enough way to Google what I saw, you know? But yeah, there's been some solid coverage of the tournament. And we've got 2 solid players here. I think Margougou streamed the last round. I don't know if he streamed this round. My plan was to wake up and cast this morning, but I woke up and I had back pain. I've been struggling with some back injuries. So I was like, yeah, I'll just like rest some more and try and come back later. Means he took muscle relaxants. That's what you mean. Shut up, Mary. Don't tell the people my secrets. It's okay, because I haven't taken them in like a week, I think. I'm trying to not like start taking them all the time. They help a lot. Been trying to do that and then also do a workout. So I was on the rowing machine for like 3 minutes, and then I was like, okay, I did something because it was hurting. Ooh, Lion might get a skirm here. Man at Arms had to be microed by Margougou. My focus is bad at the moment. I apologize. How did that? Okay. That was from earlier that scout got in. For some reason, my brain thought it was a different scout. That was the starting scout. Do men-at-arms do good against Aztecs? Okay, so the rationale goes like this. I saved my Vinch there. You know the Aztecs have are going to go barracks and archery range because they don't have a stable. So what else are they going to make? You know their second building is going to be a range. So going scouts against them, kind of potato. And I've also heard that even going men-at-arms against them can be not the best choice. And it's much more situational against the Aztecs. And your best bet is to go straight skirm. I don't know, I feel like this just changed since the last time I really like looked into this. I was told not to go scouts because you know they're gonna, one of the first things they're gonna do is just spam spears at you, and then they're just gonna go like barracks range, and that will kill scout. Basically, so like if the opponent goes straight archers, that will kill scouts to skirms if they don't throw their archers. There, I'm explaining feudal meta to you. Okay, so if you don't throw your archers, you don't even need to get damage with them because you'll get a crossbow power spike if you do an archer build versus someone who goes scouts to skirms, because scouts to skirms takes more food. Alright, so if someone goes men-at-arms, is going to go men-at-arms archers. Very likely that Meso Civs are going to go men-at-arms archers. So right here, Vinch went. I guess he went like straight skirm. Did he make a spear? He made a spear, right? Yeah, he went like kind of feudal and adapt. They do that a lot at high elos. Because everybody is trying to get inside everybody's head and be a tricky Tracy. But like the general, like that would be the general meta. In this case, Margougou went like men-at-arms skirms. Because he knows that the opponent's going to go likely archers to try and counter his men-at-arms. So he goes skirms to try and counter the archers, and then Vinch read into that and went skirms to counter the skirm play, and just camps his skirms and out micros and walls forever, and tries to go up before Margougou can. Margougou had to invest in the men-at-arms, so Vinch saw that as just like, oh, all I have to do is wall up, keep Margougou out, and I can win this game. Meta styles. So it comes down to, can Vinch smartly and properly re-wall Margougou for a long enough period of time to go into a power spike that can clear the army and stop it from harassing, and or also go forwards alternatively. And looks like he's going to go into Eagles. I hope I kind of explained. I think I actually did an okay job there explaining AoE feudal meta. So it's the intuitive thing is to go scouts into skirms, and if the opponent sends their archers out, like imagine Vinch had made 8 archers and then gone and tried to break in. Margougou just brings the faster moving Lithuanian skirms back, surrounds with the scouts, clears the archers. Vinch has no army, and then Margougou can snowball with knights. And just stops making anything, goes up. Vinch doesn't have very much army at the beginning. Margougou's able to hold with whatever feudal army he has left and spams whatever, maybe some more to hold until he's up to castle age and then gets knights out and wins. That will get you wins. Doing that will get you wins to a very high elo. But the problem is that that's like you're winning because the opponent is making mistakes, not because you're making the right choices. If that makes sense. You just happen to be doing a strong thing and that it happens to work against what the opponent is doing because they should be doing the thing they're doing. And they made a other army positional mistake. So realizing that, growing past that, and getting past the elo where that works is an important component in a growing AoE 2 player's life. Did he overinvest in skirms? Vinch went Eagles, right? And it's Margougou's turn to try to keep the Eagles out and then get his army numbers up high enough. The issue with doing this against the Aztecs, they're going to add in monks. They have really strong monks. They also already have 2 barracks that they can start spamming spears from to support their eagles. So Margougou's kind of and I think the response from Margougou should have been maybe, well, Castle Drop will do okay, but he could have gone into men-at-arms spam. Might have worked. Like if he went full men-at-arms, 3 barracks, stop making vills, that might have worked. Castle might work. Eagles will dive in though, and he doesn't have any armor yet, Vinch. Been focused on getting the other upgrades, but we have stone walls behind this, which is I think a good call against the Eagles. Because now Vinch is kind of 1 TC Eagle spam. He only went 2 barracks though. So, but he's adding a second monastery. Oh, he's going to push Margougou really, really hard. Vinch knows that if he gets in with this number of eagles, it's going to be really hard for Vinch to keep the king protected. Right now, it's over here behind this castle. It's actually kind of a smart place to put it. It's important to discuss. I actually kind of am glad that we got onto the meta conversation because we're watching a very kind of standard presentation of it. Right? This is kind of a very normal way for a game of AoE 2 to go. The difference is the consequences for it going this way are different. If Vinch gets in and this isn't walled and the Eagles find it, it's GG. Compared to maybe sometimes they get in and you garrison and re-wall or whatever. And you might be able to live through this, or you spam some knights or lead us out. This is looking pretty bad for Margougou though. Where's the monk spam? Yeah, we got 3 monks already. We've got more monks than leadus or knights. Although there are stone walls everywhere, though. You know, Margougou's done a really good job of walling his base up. If he could get, maybe you go Siege Workshop and you start mangoing all this crap. And just, because you know the opponent's gonna, but then he could go Redemption Monks. Lithuanians get pretty good monks too, though. They get literally every upgrade. So that would make them great monks, pardon me. I don't think they have it a monk upgrade, do they? Lithuanians get a monk upgrade. That's a lot of monks. Plus, Vinch has 4 relics. All of this early pressure also ensured that he was able to go out and snag a bunch of the relics. That prevents the Lithuanians from getting their bonus, which is the bonus attack to their leadus and knights. Although Margougou did get 1. You can get away. I feel like you can get away having 2 because then you at least don't lose your last attack upgrade. But realistically, you want 3 so you have better than normal at a minimum. Let's get faster working monasteries. Okay. I've never done a monk push with Lithuanians in my life. Maybe I should try that one day. Four relics for the Aztecs is like having, I think, since they have 33% extra, that's literally like having 6 relics, right? What's a third of 4? A third of 4 plus 4. That's how many relics the Aztecs basically have compared to a regular Civ right now. So like 5.6 or something. Relics. 5.3. So it's like they have all of the relics plus a little bit extra. Kind of insane just from having 4. There you go. We got there. We got there, chat. Vinch is 6 vills up. Never added a second TC. Bruh. Idiot caster. Margougou never added a second TC. You spent 2 days watching already, Glugcell? Damn. Blur Glue GGsel. 16 days. That's soft. You're not a real fan like I am, Hoagie Mouth. I've lost a year and a month of my life doing this shit. Hoagie, would you say that you like watch me a lot too? Like you would probably say you watch me a lot. 16 days is actually like a lot of watch time. What did the Batard do? I would kind of agree. I would be inclined to agree with you. And yet I would also have to say that like you would have a difficult time judging the stream as a whole. There's also probably like lots of Grath shit that exists that you've never seen or heard of, which is insane for me to think about. Because of how long I think you've been here. Margougou busts open Vinchester's base with those petards. And instantly rewalled by Vinch. He saw it coming the whole way, guys. What? There's a hole? And the 4 elitists are in. But Vinch also has a secondary wall on his king. Like, Vinch has played this so smart. He foresaw the petard and break-in. He knew this was coming. That's why he kept monks back, I think, even. He had a couple, right? They're, like, here. He, like, saw the thing coming out and sent them out. Yeah, he has 2... This is why the rear monastery exists. Margougou knows where Vinchester's king is now. No! He's calling GG! What? I guess he's worried about the imp trebs and stuff. I think you gotta go for another... He goes for cav archers. Make some cav archers. Make like... You already have a range. Make 3 cav archers. Get ballistics. Do we have university? Either way, make cav archers. Shabam. And then he'll like go back and forth. Or just make 8 petards. And go bah, 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 and then protect them and break in again. Bah, 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 bah. Maybe he called GG because now he knows that the jig is up and Vinchester knows. But game 1 will go to Margougou. Oh man, I didn't update the overlay for this at all. Brutal. I was eager to just start casting the game. Fix that. Sticky note. Score, increase, decrease buttons. On Stream Deck, I can actually make that now. And it'll actually affect the score on all of the scenes at the same time now. I almost have the scoreboard situation like figured out. This has been a really good tournament for ironing the future scoreboard out. There's other ways I'll be able to use this, I think, as well in the future. I'd really like to have Like Mem has a pretty good setup with the players' portraits. What I'd like to do is do that, but then also have a bunch of like 15 to 30 animations that I can kick in. That'll like make the players like names fly in with their face and like a logo and like a animated background, and it all transitions. And I push it, and then it just does like a show match intro sequence using the players' names. The reason I want to do that is for the fighting. Again, that applies to the Fighting Robot Club that I do as well. So it's like super learning how to do that would be super. Yeah, tons of like I want it to like because I have like this. Basically, I want like this. But like on steroids. Like I want that, but like everything's timed to like some music that like I can picture it in my head, I don't know. Vinchester versus Margougou. Michael Bay style. Well, that was an interesting game. Very kind of like normal meta game. This was a set that I was really looking forward at coming at with kind of like a pedagogical approach and focused on like studying the meta that's built up because these guys had to work to get here. This is an important game for the tournament. And they both have a decent idea of how the settings work. Vinch got lost a game to Shixo, so he is aware of the potential for the lower elos to make games work for them that wouldn't normally be able to. So, like, you can expect good defenses from him, and I think we saw a bit of that last game. Got game 2 loaded up. We are going to Kawasan. I turned on slow mode. Pretty much, Jimmy. I can make a big map with a bunch of Civ emblems on it. On little figures. And make a 3D print an entire, like, AoE 2 setup. And then have, like, the players' names that are 3D printed on little shiny placards. And then move them up a thing as they progress through the tournament. I could do all that. Show the draft with physical pieces with a camera overlaying it. I know how to do all these things, okay? I will compete. I will drive my own production forwards forever. Doing that stuff will motivate me, I think, to bring viewer show matches back. The more like crazy stuff that I do, that I set up that isn't even or is very rare in other like pro streams, then the more I can do that for like regular people too, that would never ever get a chance to have like that level of attention or production and put on something that they're participating in, or like anything. People have told me that like the viewer show matches were like one of the most important things they've ever had in their life, and playing in AoE, the Grath rank tournaments was like the biggest tournament they'd ever played in, and that's just like amazing to think about that I could do that for people. So I want to do more of that. I want to get back to a headspace where like I'm super motivated to do that. So I ironically think that doing a better job for production for the pros will make me more motivated to bring that production also to regular people. So that's kind of the angle I'm mentally taking with that. It's exhausting to do. Casting is friggin' so tiring, and I don't want to do it genuinely. I feel like I'm still getting game audio. 1 second, let me alt tab. Sorry if it blinks. Another one. There we go. So we're on Kawasan. This is a special version of Kawasan. In the center, there is no berries. Regular Kawasan has a whole bunch of berries. Wait, is it in the middle or is it off to the side? It's in the middle, right? There's like a platform with a bunch of berries on it normally. When it was originally programmed, I can't. I recall having a discussion where it came out like this, and I was just like, let's see if it's any good. Like a long, long time ago, but I remember deciding that I liked it at one point, and then also deciding again that I liked it a second time when I reconsidered. This map plays like, it's like 2 lakes basically, but everything's forward. There's also an unbuildable tile added around the outside, so it's a slightly modified version of Kawasan. The main thing is there's no berries in the middle. Everything else is pretty much the same, I think. And the unbuildable tile. That's special for Kingsnipe Cup. We try to make sure things stay open. All right, are we going to see it again? Multiple times we've seen Kings find dock villagers on Kawasan, chill next to them to be like, the king is right there, the dock is right there, and then get walled in. It seriously has happened, I think, 3 times so far. It's been like one of the most common, at least twice it's happened, where someone got walled in by the Kawasan dock villager. Vinchester, speaking of walls, is going to be walling his main base up a bit. You can do a potato wall. You can't wall to the outside, but you can do a potato wall, and it might be worth it. Especially Margougou has gone up as the Georgians on this one. So we got Georgians versus Byzantines on Kawasan. So he might be inclined to wall up just because of the likelihood of Georgian scouts. Georgians get that free automatic healing on their cavalry, so they gain any HP back that they lose. So if they can like afford to break in and try and do a ton of scouts damage, overproduce scouts, and kind of get away with it. They can run away after they take fights. If you don't clear them, then they'll go and get their HP back. Both players have 1 dock, and both players appear to know about the other's dock. Yep. Margougou scouted that right dock with his king, but nobody is acting on. Both players, I think, both players are scouting for an offensive dock. Neither player building on offensive dock. So kind of passive play from both. Margougou has a slight res collected lead. But Vinch went up 2 vills later. Two vills later? 3 vills later? A few vills later. Both of Vinch's lumber camps are at the back of his base on the same wood line. Margougou's going to replace I think was that a house? He just housed himself by deleting the house, and it picked up Town. Well, you know what? Town Watch is a great upgrade on this mode. I think if he decided to pick up Town Watch, he could decide to be housed for a hot second while he builds a replacement house. It won't actually give him any idle time. I think he idled for a few seconds. Deep breath. Just watching Margougou try to break in. Caught up with chat for a second. Margougou also getting some walls up. No dock aggression from either player. Just letting the other... Each player is letting the other have a pond. Isn't that nice? Savar are just different paladin. Savar are just like paladin that are like really good at killing archers. I believe they lose 1v1 to other paladin, but win in almost every other situation. Like they even do they do better against camels? I don't know. Either way, Savar are pretty good. Oh my god. Ban the bot. Savari Castle, Savari TC, Savari Dungeon, Savari Janissary. You know who doesn't have Savar, Old Drunk Lord? Margougou or Vinchester. You see how Margougou and Vinchester are playing? You should talk about. Let's talk about that, because Margougou's bringing in some archers onto the gold line. The gold line, the mining camp. We're losing it. We're losing it. Finally, an aggressive dock. This has been a long time coming. If Margougou is able to break in, the king right now for Vinch is undefended. But Vinch seems surprisingly unconcerned, I gotta say. Your strat against Byzantine is to kill their castles and then swords. I see. Don't they get Paladin, though? They could go like Hussar or Paladin. Or Arbs. Or hand cannons. Infantry suck. I like the way Margougou's playing. He's put a bunch of pressure on Vinch and he's managed to click up. The one problem is this. Vinch was like waiting and waiting and waiting for water aggression. And it never came. I don't know if Margougou cares anymore. He's going to lose a bit of his food income. He's only got 9 farms. He's going to get in here. The king is... You know what? The king's 10 tiles north of these scouts and archers. But they took so long to break in that Vinch already has some knights set to defend. Margougou. Oh, yeah. Camp the archers in that corner for all time, please. They will serve it. Now you do, and now what you do is you take 2 of these and you send them off to each corner. Because I bet he has decent scouting already. Yeah. Oh, also there's no relics. The special potato version of this map for king sniping. Feel bad if one of them starts making monks to go for the relics, and there aren't any. They do have hand cannons, yes, but the transition will throw them off. I've seen Byzantine Paladin like once. Okay. I want to talk about this anymore, Old Drunk Lord. Actually, it's fine. Fine. You talk about it. Talk about all you want. I don't want to talk about it. I want to cast the game. I'm going to stop. I need to do a better job of filtering what... I don't know. You know what? I don't care. You're awesome, Old Drunk Lord. Thank you for being here. I have an explosion. I'm just going to not think. I'm overthinking. Cavalry archers from Margougou aren't the craziest choice. Don't worry about me, Drunk Lord. I'm overthinking. Ooh, the knight. I don't know if the archers should have just chilled down there, man. Archers should have stayed hidden in that corner forever. I don't know if Vinch went and found them. I actually really like the Cav archers. We just run in, we might be able to snipe the king. And Vinch's king is right there. Byzantine cavalry archers are fine. No bloodlines, no Parthian. Fully upgraded otherwise. Thumbring is the big one, yep. Georgian cavalry archers are not. Georgian cavalry archers lack thumbring. They do get free healing, though. I don't think the free healing makes up for the lack of thumb ring, though. Cav Archers is... He's going to have to transition to something else, or he's going to, like, have to really push for a break-in. Now, if he manages to break in, could be GG on the spot. Do I see University anywhere from Margougou here? No. Also, doesn't he get faster work rate everywhere he builds one of those? Shouldn't there be, like, one here? It's like building wheelbarrows all over the place, isn't it? Whoa, Dave! Dave, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome into the quarterfinals of Kingsnipe Cup 2, everybody. We've got Margougou versus Vinch. And this is game 2. Vinch currently leading 1-0. Margougou's gone for a whole ton of Georgian Cav Archers, and Vinch has both pawns on Kawasan. This is a special Kingsnipe version of Kawasan. There's an unbuildable tile all the way around the outside. Also, I turn to a crab when people follow or raid. Well, I won't be a crab the whole time. Stay humble. Margougou is doing a really good job of kind of keeping Vinch in. Vinchester's king is right here. So the way the tournament settings work, we have non-garrisonable kings. So kings, if you're wondering why he's not inside the TC, is they can't be garrisoned into town centers. They can't be garrisoned into transport ships or towers or castles or anything. They have to stay chilling out in the open. Margougou is kind of like on both sides of Vinch's base. Ooh. And he might come in for a snipe here. Vinch's king. Ooh, he's in visual range. If he just runs to the right, if he just dove, he might get it. There's only 2 camels from Vinch right there. I don't know where the other 2 are. He has 4 on the field. They're fighting the Cav Archers down here. He's kind of got to get a surround on the king. The king's pretty quick. 1.32 movement speed. Cav Archers are only 1.54. Like, they're faster, but the king's got some wheels on him. Assemble. I just garrisoned myself to the toilet. Vinchester goes down. Doesn't even get his king sniped. He just calls the GG to his Cav Archer aggression. And Margou's going to take this game without a king snipe. Are enemies' kings visible on the minimap when you're playing? No. This is what Margougou could see. Margougou was just about to kill, like, I don't even know how many villagers. He was all over Vinch with this Cav Archer micro. This is the best I've ever seen Cav Archers that don't have thumb ring do. It does help that Georgian Cav Archers heal, just like the rest. Like, they get that healing bonus. Like, these have all their HP, so you kind of lose one fight against them and you lose. So even though Vinch ended up winning both of the pawns, he ended up losing. And he's going to even it up, which means you guys are going to get at least 2 more games of Vinch versus Margougou, which is sick. I'll update the draft for you guys. Dude, Dave, thank you very much for the raid. Much appreciated. I hope you guys had fun. I'm also going to do some Red Bull casting after. I only have 1 set left. This is the last set from the round of 8. And then we have all of the semifinalists determined. So I'm going to try and host semifinals and finals on like 2 days. Like 1 day and then the other day. And do like a first place and a third place match. I'm going to announce that in advance as soon as we have the players together. I'm working around both players' availability for Rage Forest. That was the Saks Cup before, and the Red Bull Wololo ladder. So we're trying to make sure we don't interfere with other tournaments. Let me update the civs and maps on screen here, and then I'll quickly get the next game going for you guys. So we had a pretty good game on Socotra. It was kind of really standard, actually. A bit less standard from Margougou with those. How standard are Georgian Cav Archers? You guys tell me. Thank you guys for the follow. Link Xenos, Elite Sheepy, K Don 1E, and Mad JJ7. Thanks for the follows, guys. Much appreciated. Let's see here. So Margougou going to win with the Georgians in game 2, and he lost game 1 with the Lithuanians. And Vinch won game 2 with the lost game 2 with the Byzantines and won game 1 with the Aztecs. There we go. Map draft is all up to date. And thank you, JB_8K, for the follow. Have an explosion. So you'll see the map pool is all open maps. There's I would say 2 normal maps in quotation marks. Normal. That would be like Arabia and Golden Lakes are 2 of the only ones that don't have additional unbuildable tiles added. I guess Socotra is normal as well, but it's very, very conducive to interesting Kingsnipe. So, but all of the maps have non-buildable terrain. They all feature non-buildable terrain in very exposed economies. This next map, whoops, I hope I reloaded the same game again. One moment. Nerves. Are you the host of this tournament? Yes. I'm going to run another, this is the second time I've run the Kingsnipe Cup, but I have run some one-day tournaments in the past with these settings, usually on Halloween. So I think this year I'm going to run, rather than it being a one-day tournament, it might be like a week-long tournament at the end of October. I haven't figured out how. I'm gonna try and gauge interest and time things around other tournaments again. It's tough when you're doing like A tier and or B tier tournaments because you got to work around the S tiers and they happen all the fucking time. Thank you very much for the follows. Thank you. Seriously. We still have semifinals and finals coming up, and then, like I said, I'll be doing Red Bull Wolo casting after this set, and I will post on my Discord and on my Twitter, and it should be, the whole tournament's on Liquipedia too, so once the semifinals and finals are announced, it'll be on there too. So, and we've had multiple players take out some of the top seeds in the tournament. Out of the top 4 seeds, I think only 2 of them are left now. So I don't want to spoil previous sets, but there's some crazy upsets that happened, where players are really good about playing to the settings. You guys keep turning me into a crab. I love it. Why is the king so big? I have a mod called the Big King mod on, and what it does is it makes it much easier for us to see the king. Sometimes it kind of blends into the background, and it's easy to miss. And because it's so important to the game settings and because it's in every game, I actually think if you're a competitive player, you should have Big King mod on for 2 reasons. 1, it makes it so much easier to spot for sniping, as we see Vinch actually getting a poke in on the king. And 2, the small king, the hitbox on the small king is larger than the size of the king on your screen. Whereas when you're the big king, it's slightly smaller. So it makes it easier for you to picture if you're going to get hit by a melee unit or not. So I think Big King's mod is almost like mandatory for competitive regicide. If I was going to be in like NAC 6 was going to have Copenhagen again, and I was playing it as a pro, I'd 100% have Big King mod on, more for the hitbox even than just spotting it. I'm sure they've got better like vision than I do for identifying the king, but for casting it's great. Also, now he's really big. Look how big he is compared to the zebra. He's huge. He's taller than the guy on the horse. So many follows. Thank you, guys. We get extra ultra detail because the king is so big. Look at this guy. Where's the other one? The Incan king and Aztec king and Mayan kings are all the best. All the mesosivs. This guy puts his hands behind his back. Also, the Mayan king puts his hand on his hip and stares at you disapprovingly. These guys just kind of chill. They waddle around. We love our big, beautiful kings. Yes, we do. Okay, focus. We're on Arabia? He picked Arabia? This was Vinchester's pick. And he's gone with Arabia. Margougou's got rear gold, rear stone, forward secondary gold. Where's his other secondary gold? Oh man, both secondary golds are pretty exposed. Pressure there would be ugly. And Vinch's base is wide open. Oh god, that's hideous. Imagine a castle right there. Better be Vinch's castle. Or there's going to be some problems. Even like a tower rush. The kings, if you're wondering why the players are like moving out and about with their kings so much in Dark Age, they're the fastest moving unit in the game in Dark Age, even faster than the scouts. Scouts are 1.2 in Dark Age, and kings are 1.33, or 332, pardon me. And once you hit feudal age, the scout becomes faster. So around like the 6 to 7 minute mark, usually you'll see players start to get their last little bit of scouting and then send their king back to their town center. And they'll build a little like box for their king right next to their TC to keep them safe. Some players don't like doing that because they have to give up the farm space and they don't want to give up that one farm spot. So they'll just keep the king loose. Vinch has been doing that. And we've seen Georgians again. So players are given one home pick at the beginning of the tournament. I wanted to make sure that some of the lower elos could like have their one strong civ. Because we had legitimately had a 900 elo that like practiced some Viper spreadsheet builds, and he sniped the 1600, 1700. It was pretty amazing. There's a clip of it on my YouTube. Yeah, that game was amazing. If you ever see him, it's I'm Not Jason. That guy has serious bragging rights. He went Gaiad Rush. He went Gaiad Rush into Scouts all in. Sniped two of the opponent's vills, took him completely off wood, and then followed it up with 2 stable Scouts all in. Sniped his king. It's still one of the most ridiculous things I've seen. That guy, we're gonna be a 900 elo with actual ATP that they actually earned. Because they took a game off of a 1700. Anyways. It's been a really fun tournament. We haven't seen a big crazy play here. The craziest thing we saw was the Georgian Cav Archers. So anyways, I was discussing the draft. So everybody gets one home civ. So this draft, both players went Georgians. I thought all the high elos would always just be picking like Georgians, but we have actually seen a ton of Georgians, obviously, but also Persians and what was the other one? Byzantines, Saracens have all really been common. There was another. What the heck's the other one? It's the second most common one. I can't remember it right now. Chinese. Oh, and Malay. Chinese and Malay as well. Obviously, a lot of Georgians for the Manaspa and cavalry bonuses. But it hasn't been dominating. And we also had some of the low elos that picked like Spanish and Khmer and stuff and did like their wonky builds. I think the Jason pick was his home pick. He was Magyar's. Magyar's has been another common one too. Can't they garrison it in the TC? They cannot. Kings are non-garrisonable. They can't be garrisoned anywhere. That's the whole shtick. And thank you for pinning the big beautiful Kings comment straight. Oh, it's gone. Okay. Vinch coming in sniffing around. Margougou was being kind of defensive with his scouts though. Vinch still adding another one. And Margougou's just focused on getting this horrible base walled up. Both players with disgusting bases. This is the ugliest Arabia spawn. Sometimes the ugly Arabia spawns are the funnest though. I wouldn't even mind this. Flat wood lines. Look at that. Flat wood line you can put a TC on. I'll take it. give me the wood lines on flats. I'll take it. I'll do whatever. I'll deal with it. At Stig AoE, JNZ4, GMF 211. Are these? Thank you very much for the follow. You guys are awesome. Huns seem good for cheap and fast cavalry archers. They've been a fairly common pick. Tatars we've seen a bunch. I always criticize the Meso civs whenever they're picked, but we did have a Meso civ win, Aztecs on Socotra. I think Socotra makes more sense for Meso. It's so small you can get away with flooding eagles. Because you literally can just run. Even an imp, I'm pretty sure that king is faster than an eagle, so you can just run forever. Brackets are there. They should be up. I don't know if they're up. They should be updated on Liquipedia. You might spoil yourself. The set was played this morning at like 8 in the morning local time. And I decided to rest and then come back after everybody else was finishing up their Wololo cast. Kind of make sure there was some coverage for that in the evening. Vinch trying to break in, but Margougou got those walls up in time. The question is, are they too big? He's got workers right here, so it should be easy to just block that in. And he's got a gold mine on this side, so I kind of actually like Margougou's walls. The one issue, he's got one really dinky, crappy wood line that he's going to chop through pretty quickly in early Castle Age. So he's going to have to expand out. I would say this direction seems okay. Could put a TC like here and have a nice protected spot for the king there, maybe. And Margougou, at the same time that Vinch is beating on his walls, he's going to go beat on Vinch's walls. Difference is that I wonder if Vinch is going to make a spear. Nah, he's not even going to bother. Margougou made one. Just enough to make you think that he might have more than one. How you doing, Jason? There's the man himself. No sleep? Oh no. You should do that. Sleeping good. The difference is that the Georgian player is going to steadily regain health whenever you're not fighting them, whereas these guys are going to stay that way forever. Ooh, this is freaking me out a bit. If Vinch decides to click in and see if Margougou's opened up, he'll get found out real fast, and he'll have a difficult micro fight against the Georgian. Vinch up behind this 3 vills later, about 1 minute and 20 seconds in game. And we are going to have a Cav Archer play from Margougou once again. I was surprised Vinch called GG as quick as he did last time. He played it. It was almost like he forgot the king existed. I was interested to see how many games and sets we had where like the king was not relevant. There's been a few. There's definitely a few where it doesn't affect things too much. But there's also like 90% of the time that's not the case. I don't know how else to say it. I was going to like try and say it all some flowery way. That's stupid. No, most of the time it's not like that. There's been a few games. This set's been 2 games in a row kind of where the king sniping was... I mean, you could argue that was maybe why Vinch called GG with the Cav Archers last game. Yeah, Vinch will kite forever because he gets the HP back, so... These guys might be running until the end of the game. No, he gave the Cav Archers away. That's less than ideal. Maybe it's not. It's pretty obvious. He's the Huns. It's Arabia. What's he really hiding? Vinch is set up to drop a TC on his main gold at the front here. No! A monastery. What? Monastery and elite skirt. I thought for sure that was going to be a 2 monasteries. Oh, no, fortified churches. That's right. Right. Georgians. Potato me forgetting about the fortified churches. Plus, they build way faster than the TCs. So. Yeah, that's the way to go. There you go. Yeah, that's much more logical. Yes. Do you remember way back? Anybody? Like, maybe even Voobly days? It was pretty much standard to make a few Cav Archers for this exact reason. Because you'd be able to go and harass the wood lines. Like, even if you didn't get fletching, you would make like 2 or 3 Cav Archers and send them and harass wood lines with them if you had a range. Because you would do so much, you'd be so irritating and idle so much that the players wouldn't be able to deal with it. You were like a noob if you didn't do that. Cav Archers dove underneath this, and we actually prevented the TC. If Margougou can manage to... Gonna get that shot off. Ooh. He's on the hill. Oh, RNG in favor of Margougou there. Saves his Cav archers. He really doesn't want to throw these light cap. Oh, nice pick there. Grabs the hill against Vinch. I want to see light cav in case there's more monks, because we already know that there's fortified churches here. Vinch is going to go skirm sieged monk against Margougou. There's a strong danger of a Kingsnipe here. Because Vinch really doesn't have too many places to run, and Margougou has so much mobility. And Margougou is safe-walled at home. Like, nothing's breaking in there. Maybe, if this overchops. Is focused on his 1TC Cav Archer play. And is going to be aggressive. I think this is looking good for a potential snipe here from Margougou. We'll see if we get the first snipe of the set. Because he breaks in, it'll sends like a bunch of cav the right way, and it's over. Can't you run in once you get ballistic and just snipe the king? Blue can't see, and you don't get treason until imp. So blue doesn't know where the king is. I'm thinking about making it so that the kings are always visible, and putting a little always visible tile around them. But that might be too much. Even better would be to somehow have treason available in Castle Age.
Nice stream. Would be a shame if it were interrupted by advertisements in a minute.
I'll snooze that.
Ha, ha, ha.
Evil robot. That's my evil robot parrot companion, Steve. Just, I'll snooze the ads. We got 10 minutes until I have to run a Twitch ad, so we'll get through this game. I'm pretty sure. Have you seen anyone hide the king in the corner? Yes. Arabia is actually one of the most closed-in maps in the tournament. Because there's no non-buildable tiles, it's really easy to send your king to a corner and then just wall in the corner. That's why most of the maps have non-buildable tiles, but Arabia is like... It's really... To me, I wanted Arabia just because it's so interesting to see the normal metas on some of the normal maps. But with the king added. Like, to me, that's the biggest appeal of the tournament, is I'm trying to make a different mode. Another competitive, which I think we've actually done now. This is a B tier tournament. It's run multiple times. The players that play it generally seem to enjoy themselves, except for Lewis. Margougou was cackling when he was playing. Like he had an opponent that was like 400 elo lower than him, trying to snipe him for like 15 minutes, and was just laughing his ass off the whole time. It was pretty great. We haven't had too many snipe attempts here. This has been much more serious, much more standard meta play in the this set. Kings can't go in anything, dude, bro, Maximus, my dude. They are non-garrisonable. My dude, bro, Maximus. I love the aggression. 5 mangonels is what I'm talking about. Is this coming from the other Siege Workshop? Use this one! If he could just break in. Where is Vinch's king? Yes, this is where you would want Castle Age treason, you know what I mean? So that Vinch's Castle Age push will pay off. Right now, if he were to go for a snipe, if he goes for a snipe, it's a huge risk. Because if Vinch runs the king the right direction and he loses most of his army, it could work, though. Maybe you throw 30 cav archers into your opponent's base and you all but guarantee yourself a snipe sometimes, right? It's hard to know that. This is what Margougou can see. And for all Margougou knows, the king's literally over here right now. You know what I mean? This is why, if you guys know how to do data mod work, we have a really solid data mod with the non-garrisonable kings, and it turns off the kings also take up 0 pop space, and they start without castles, and they start without the extra resources in regular regicide. So it's like a regular 3-villager start. You can come in with normal builds without having to study a whole bunch of weird like regicide builds or anything. I try to take maps from tournaments throughout the year, or really, really common maps or well-known maps. Both for the noobs that might want to enter and take a shot at a pro, like the 900 elo that was able to like practice like a build with a civ they were familiar with and get good at it, you know? I like that. I want tournaments accessible, so. If you know how to do data mod to make treason accessible in Castle Age, please contact me. Think about it. It's right there. If Margougou full sends with the Cav Archers, he'd probably get the king here. But he can't possibly know that. He's 20 vills behind Vinch, but Vinch's eco is like he's housed. He's got a bunch of idle farms. He's going to lose another town center. And the army count is also so far in favor of Margougou, who can just continue to pump these Cav Archers. He has Thumbring, right? He doesn't have you know what? He doesn't have Thumbring yet, guys. He has pretty much everything else, but he does not have Thumbring yet. Doesn't have Thumbring's a lot of food. The Manaspa are coming. Margougou left his mangonels at a really inopportune time. He's probably still going to kill all these Manaspa, though. Was the commit worth it for Vinch? Well, if he hadn't gotten that mango, I would have said no. But now I think that's borderline yes. Because that'll slow the push down substantially. You could take a guess that the king is next to the castle. It's true. The king is literally right there. But again, for all he knows, Vinch has him corner walled. Oh no.
In 60 seconds, an ad will play. Use this time to reflect on your
Okay,
insignificance.
that's my last snooze, just so you guys know. So it should be like another 5 minutes-ish until an ad runs, and I can't stop it the next time. The timing is pretty terrible. Nothing I could do. If I had some other way of stopping it, I'd do that at this point. Should have tried to snipe with those Manaspa. He might. He's got some more, and he's going forwards. Some ways that you could take a guess that a player has a king is if you manage to spot like a walled-in area. And another good thing to do if you can send a spare like 1 unit, and the intention to do so is to fire it off and do a corner check. Because a lot of times, again, players will just send a king off to a random corner. And then one thing to keep in mind as a spectator is if we get a game that draws out a little bit longer than normal, like it should be over, and then you're like, why is this player still playing on? It's because sniping is... You can pull sniping off with very little resources. If you have like 8 units and like a castle, you can make petards and Cav Archers and break in and make attempts. And we've seen players come back doing that occasionally. Usually they just get shut down. The higher player will eventually make a big enough wall or enough castles to adequately protect the king, and then it's over. But it's a little bit longer than normal, just so you know. You too can stop the ad with the power of Twitch Prime. You don't have to do that. I'll be here when you get back. Dave would do a corner check. Oh, Dave should be in love with this mode. This mode is 90% corner checks, to be honest. I can't believe we haven't had either of the players move their king out, but they might be playing a little bit more close to chess because they each are respecting the other's elo level. Margougou's caught up in vills. He's caught up in villagers behind this pressure. Added the extra TCs. Still not a lot of wood. There's no wood on this side at all. Which means all these are going to have a ton of walking time to go to whatever they're going to go to next. Closest wood line would be like over there. That's pretty miserable. Corner hide isn't quarterfinal or semi or final viable, I think. Yeah, maybe not. See, look, Vargu is literally doing a check right now. He's doing literally doing a corner check right this second. And it's never a bad call. I'm telling. Look, Vinch is doing a corner check. Vinch is doing a corner check. Margougou takes the opportunity to dive in. Okay, but see, now Margougou knows that the king isn't anywhere else. He knows the king is somewhere here. Look, and now he's coming in. He's coming in on both sides at the same time, and he's trying to narrow down exactly where Vinch might be keeping this stupid thing. And it's hidden behind the castle. Not Red Bull. Casting Red Bull after at most 3 more games. If this goes to 5 games, then it'll be 3 games of this, and then we're gonna do Red Bull. So this and 2 more games at most. The best of 5. This is like, you know, I think it's gonna work out to be like a $50-ish to $80 set, and puts them in position to win like even more cash if they win. So. This has been the most meta set of the tournament, but it's also been really good. Margougou's playing exceptional. I feel like Margougou's really good with Cav Archers. It's like his jam. He's going to win another fight here. Yeah, the Cav Archer micro and macro seems to suit Margougou really well. He keeps winning. He keeps winning fights, man. He did Georgian Cav Archers, now Hun Cav Archers. I wonder if we'll see it again next round. He's awfully close to finding that king if he just runs the right direction with some units, man. Gonna run off to this corner maybe again. He can't find the king. Oh, look. That's not good. Actually, he's got okay numbers. The Manaspa... He had a lot of weak Cav Archers. That's why I was worried. Yeah. That started going bad very quickly. That looked okay, and then it was very, very bad. He needed to, like, stack them inside of that little... whatever you want to call it. The lion is getting involved!
Nice stream. Would be a shame if it were interrupted by advertisements in a minute. Ha, ha, ha.
Shut up, you evil parrot bastard. You're the reason that Mufasa died. +4 is about to kick in for Vinch. And this is going to go from looking pretty good for Margougou to pretty bad. He's lost a lot of units. Castle is wearing away at the Manaspa here, though. Margougou's hitting Treason. So because of the data mod, it looks like you can research Treason in Castle Age, but you have to wait till Imp.
Yes.
Margougou he doesn't know. That's not, I wish I could tell him. I wish I could communicate with him. He might get it anyways. He might get it anyways. I think he spotted it. He spots the king. Margougou decided, F it, I'm going full send, and he's got the king in his sights. It was looking all Vinch just a second ago. And Margougou pulls off the Kingsnipe. Let's go. First one of the set. Let's go. He's like, stupid treason. He full sends the Cav Archers into the base like just fucking go. It was 0 to 100. So he stopped, he paused, asks Vinch, like, hey, is treason, like, broken? What's the deal? Vinch is like, why are you pausing? What's the problem? And then Margougou just sends all of his Cav Archers in. Vinch starts to run it away, and then realizes, I don't know, just how fast the Cav Archers are. Unbelievable. And that's how game 3 ends. And Margougou has the lead. What? Margougou has the lead. Could we have another upset about to happen? Oh, the poor ad people. The people that got hit with the ad just before that are rip. They are rip big time. That is so sad. Well, there's literally nothing I could do, unfortunately. Oh, you know what I wanted to look at before we transition out of this is the APM spike at the end. That's all I wanted. They're both like, it's Kingsnipe in time. What a sick game. You know, Margougou did a good job of pressuring with the 1TC Cav Archer play. Like, he was in a good position even just from a macro perspective, and then Vinch, I didn't make it. Ooh, wait a minute. This was surprisingly close. I'm so glad I went back and looked. He was just coming in with the Manaspa. Imagine if he runs to the left and finds that, or even just finds this. It would have been pretty terrible for Margougou. Sick game. All right, update the draft. Both players have used Georgians now. Margougou got a win with the Georgians, and Vinch lost. You can't even say that the Georgians are OP now. Cav Archers, cheap Cav Archers, way more important. Way more important. Although Margougou went Cav Archers with the Georgians, so Cav Archers seem to be the meta. Let's see. Margougou's got Magyars, Cav Archer Civ. Persians, kind of a Cav Archer Civ now. And Dravidians. What the f***? Secondary water Civ, maybe? Because there's, what do we got left here? Golden Lakes is the other white hybrid map that's left. Update the maps as well. Wait, did I update Vinch's Civs? I don't think I did. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, we're good. And map draft. Arabia. So Vinch can go Land Madness or Golden Lakes here. And then the final map will be the other map that isn't chosen. We're having lag on stream. Interesting. Let me see if there's anything I can do about that. Microsoft Edge updating. Microsoft Edge. Get it away from me. Get it away from me. That's disgusting. Microsoft Edge. Why would it update now? Why now? Microsoft Edge. Update before the Dave raid, please. Not 20 minutes after it. I'm loading game 3 right now. People that came back from the ad, if you go to the most recent clip that was posted by Steve the Evil Robot, if you scroll up, I'll repost it right now. You can see the end of the game that you may have missed. SQC said he will pay $100,000 to play 3 hours of AoE and then maybe a $1 million win condition. What? That can't be real. Scrolling up in chat, making sure I didn't miss anything anybody said. All right, I'm caught up. Had a little lag on the stream a few minutes ago. It still says I'm dropping frames, and I don't know why. Give me one moment. Why don't you guys learn about our tournament sponsor, Alligator Randy? Have you ever wanted a brand new purse, but also wanted a delicious meal? Hi, my name's Alligator Randy, and if there's one thing I enjoy, it's a good alligator. Come on down to Alligator Randy's, home of the newest trend, where we make your purse while you eat the crocodile the purse is made from. All of our alligators are kept as fresh as possible in the alligator pit. Our professional alligator handlers ensure that the alligator of your choosing has never been involved in a human-to-alligator confrontation. Our alligators are raised with the utmost care in the alligator death swamp pit from which no man has returned. Alligator Randy's, home of the world's least secure rope bridge. Whoops, don't slip. Alligator Randy's, ask about our death pit. Do I give people another minute to get through the lag? If you're hearing this now, you should consider refreshing if you want live chat and crap. If you don't care, then I'm just going to continue on. But just so you know, consider if you want like live chat in the chat to match what's happening on the screen. I dropped literally 20,000 frames. 20,000 frames. So there's a very good chance that you're significantly behind live at that point. 20,000 frames is like... That's like literally like 4 or 5 minutes, I think. I have no idea why we dropped that amount. What happened? But yeah. I'm going to continue on so I don't delay people much more. In the West here, we've got Vinchester playing in red as the Slavs. And we've got Margougou in blue in the Northeast playing as the Magyars. We are on Land Madness, a classic map. On Land Madness, every woodline is surrounded by a non-buildable tile. Tends to make things very, very awkward for protecting villagers. Really, really aggressive feudal ages. Difficult to wall maps. Some cases you can get like kind of like a U wall around a wood line here. Margougou might have a situation where you could pull something like that off. And that can help a lot. Vinch definitely could do like a U wall around this, but it's also not a very big wood line. He is going to go to it, and it's close by, which is nice. Both players have a close wood line. Margougou's close by wood line, much nicer. On Land Madness, you also start with a berry bush under your TC. At what month do I gain squatters right? Just refreshed. You were 2 minutes behind, bruh.
That's Jake.
Thank you very much, Jake B253 for the 7 months streak. 8 months total. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How you doing, Parts? Bunch of cool people in chat. Badman Damo. Telford. Hers is here. I don't know what that is. I was going to delete. Did you accident? I think someone may have posted a link to that XQC thing. I don't know if my mods may have accidentally deleted that. So don't feel discouraged. Might have redeemed a horribly timed O at some point then. I'm not here. Me neither, man. Me neither. I'm actually just a trebuchet that looks like a caster. I can prove it too. I fire and everything. See? I wasn't a real trebuchet. How am I firing? Got him. What's that? Is that a bombard cannon? No! No! Damn it. I hate when that happens. Trevor Bouchette. Stupid bombards. Margougou pushing in deer with his king. Finch pushing in deer with his king. They can push deer in twice as fast, chat. Twice as much deer pushing! Double the deer pushing power. Alright, you convinced me. You're a treb. No, I'm not. I'm Mega now. Was that a premature trebuchetting? Yes. See, you guys are behind. You should refresh. Ah! Don't make me shoot at you again, chat. Ah! Chat's like, what the heck, man? What did Twitch do? Twitch is just like, no, you will now be delayed 4 minutes. You did? Okay, that's not so bad. You caught up. Still feel like it's fluctuating all over the place a bit. It is. Stop yelling at me. Sorry. I didn't mean to. Margot is in feudal age. He's going to make a stable? He's going to make a stable. Magyars get cheaper scouts. Free forging. This is a very open map. Vinch is going with... He's going to wall his king in on his wood line. He's going to get a Vil picked off by Margougou's forward scout here. Could Margougou close it? He's one win away from getting a spot in the semifinals of the Kingsnipe Cup too. And could he close it out against Vinchester and give us another upset? He's one game away. Vinch has to find a way to do something here. I think Vinch needs to go for a more of a sniping strat. I'm hoping we see like a feudal all-in and we get a nice decider game 5. Just started playing AoE 2 a month ago for the first time. What, like you never played it when you were younger or anything? You just started playing it? That speaks to how timeless the game really is, if that's the case. It's just genuinely... It's like Tetris. It doesn't matter that it was invented in whatever, 1981. How old is that? Some games are just good games. It's just like baseball was invented in 1800. How old is football? 1,000 years old or something? Uh-oh. Vinch is going to lose another Vil. Oh, barely repaired that in time. Wow, the last time gets it. But now Vinch can run it away. Third scout coming in to block. Vinch loses yet another Vil. He's 2 Vils down against Margougou on Land Madness. If Vinch plays to meta and only thinks about the meta, then I think he's dead. As Margot has 5 scouts to Vinch's 2 and a spear. So I think Vinch, he's going to play meta. You got to spam spears out now, right? He's got to do counter damage, man. Got to send those scouts forwards. He's going to find that Margou's king is walled in. You're enjoying it so far? You've played the campaigns? The Joan of Arc... The William Wallace and Joan of Arc campaigns are must-plays. Joan of Arc for sure. William Wallace maybe not because it's kind of noobish. Like a good... It was the old school tutorial, basically. But Joan of Arc is... Mwah. Vinch is going forwards this time, and he should spot the king in that pen. My question is, will he follow this up with archers? So now you only need 1 archer, or you could go tower. You could send like 3 Vils out this right side, maybe. Come up this way, drop a tower right here. I wonder if that's buildable right there. (1869) football was invented. American football. Isn't soccer around longer than that? You're gonna make me say soccer? What about rugby? Rugby's got to be pretty old. My tea is friggin' amazing. I want fish. It was the perfect temperature. American football is 1869. That also seems really recent. That's crazy. Imagine if AoE 2 makes it like 100 years. It's not inconceivable. We're already at 25. And there's no other medieval RTS that's worth a damn. Is there any other, even another medieval RTS that exists that's like even close to half okay? I'm not sure that there is. I feel like Vinch isn't taking the threat seriously enough here. Do you guys agree? I feel like this is scared. This is scary. He's up to castle age, so maybe that's part of his job. Cav archers. Vinch is gonna go cav archers, or he's gonna go 2-range skirms and defend against the Magyar cav archer transition. That's gonna go down in a minute. Oh, it's open. Wait, how is that in? What? Oh, that's open. That is open. It was like an optical illusion a little bit. Because it's facing straight away, it looks like there's like a tile there, but there isn't. Civs, yeah, it's not RTS, it's turn-based, right? Scout's gonna cut off 2 or 3 vills here. More damage for Margougou. Man, this needed to not get in. He's gonna go back to the wood line. He's gonna build a tower on his king. That has to get walled. Put everything on wood, that's not the worst play. Then at least you can... Oh, he doesn't have the stone, though. Does he have a market? He's got a market. Delete and go out. I think you take this, and then delete and go out. And build a TC. After you take that deer. Can he afford? He's going to go cav archers. He's going right into cav archers. Margougou's going to go run his king off to a corner. Because he sees the archery ranges. All right, finally we get finally we get a little bit of like non-standard play here. It took land madness to bring it out of these guys. But now we're right off the bat. Feudal all-in is pretty normal. But Slav cav archers? I don't think that's normal. Slav cav archers. I said Slav. Total War, Stronghold, Banner Lords. Why does that sound like it's one of those Google Play games where it sounds like a mobile game where you looks like it's AoE 2, but it's a scam. Remember all those mobile ads? What if that's the real reason they made an AoE mobile game? Because they're like, all these other people are making crappy AoE games. Let's make ours. It's kind of why I've never been too critical of it. It's like someone's gonna make that. Might as well be AoE 2 people that get the payout from it. Does AoE 2 companion work? Oh, you're asking chat. Someone answer MCN. Cav Archer's going all over Margougou's base. That's correct, Silver Arrow. King is non-garrisonable. That's why Margougou's run it all the way off here instead of sticking in his town center in a tower or something. Aw, Vinch! Vinch is gonna get another 4 vills killed. Vinch is committed to the Kingsnipe. This is honestly a regular game, 100% GG. Vinch is going all over the map looking for Margougou's king, checking corners and stuff. Margougou does have a couple units. If he goes and checks the down, is he gonna go check Margougou's king? This will be such a sick way for us to get a game 5. No! Where's... Oh, the archer was shooting it. Can Vinch spot the king? It's right there. Margougou sees the cav archers coming and moves his king. Big brain plays from Margougou, who's expecting the counter snipe from Vinchester. What a play from Margougou, man. He had the scout there to tell if if it was going to come in, and that is a nice forward-thinking play from Margougou while he's keeping the pressure on. He knew that he had Vinch in the macro, and he knew Vinch would have to transition to the snipe play. And I think this is going to be Margougou big braining his way into the semifinals, because I don't know what Vinch does here now. He's not going to be able to like just go start pushing Margougou anymore. He lost too many vills. Eco Katie is 15-1. And Margougou's just gone and stuck his king off in a corner. Stay humble, yeah. Vinch losing some of his last remaining cav archers here. He is still on wood and gold, so he's going to be fully capable of making some sniping units. And it's going to come down to how long can Margougou keep his king hidden and safe long enough to either build it a safer box that'll completely shut Vinch down, or otherwise just boom into and overrun Vinch while keeping his own king safe. And this is what I'm talking about! Oh, Margougou's gonna find the king. Vinch realized he was about to lose his own king, calls the GG, and Margougou is gonna, I gotta say, steal this set. What? Vinch, why did you call GG? Why did he call GG? Did he not realize he just found the king? He didn't realize he found the king? There's no way. He has to have not even thought about it. He must have been setting these guys off. And hadn't... He typed GG before he saw the king with the cav archers. I swear to God. Hold on. Unbelievable. Purely by chance, Margougou sends his king. Neither one of them know the other one's there. And look at the timing. Vinch Kings gets shot, and he goes to type GG instead of shooting the king! He resigned instead of shooting the king! Are you kidding me? Look, he's typing GG! He literally went and hit enter and looked down or whatever on his keyboard and typed GG instead of just hitting stand ground on the archers. He just had to hit stop and he won. And he could have dodged because he was at range on Margou's king.
Well,
what a way for this to end.
sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
He literally stumbled into a victory and didn't even realize it. He didn't even wait till he was sniped. This is why you gotta wait till your king is dead. It's not over until the last HP is gone. There's no reason to look there.
We Shroots don't need some Harvard doctor.
There's no reason to look there when his king's under that much pressure. It's true. But if they'd been patrolled, Lori, if they'd been patrolled, if they'd been patrolled, he didn't have ballistics though, so he might have been, Margougou might have dodged that. And the reason he would look there is those were his only units, and his only hope was to get a counter. Whatever. That's still a ridiculous ending. I wouldn't say it's an early resign. No, maybe it's slightly if it's early by like one volley. But I mean, Margou's gonna get the next shot off and get the king. Either way, holy crap! What a set! I kind of wish we got one more game, but also that was a heck of a set. These guys brought some solid AoE2 to the table. We got to see what like a really high level meta would look like with king sniping, so we should get some more of that in the semifinals and finals. I don't want to spoil anybody in case you guys want to go see the games that have already been played, so I don't want to spoil you. In particular, I'm not going to spoil anything. There's been 2 or 3 huge upsets. You could go back to the round of 32 casts. I think it'll say like if you go in the VOD, it'll say like Kingsnipe Cup day 1 main tournament day 1, and it's been madness since that. So 6 set of games. I agree, Chopsticks. It's been such a sick tournament, and we still got at least 3 sets. I gotta do 4 sets if I can convince the 3rd place set to happen. What's next